Mm-hmm.
But those were the games from Wednesday and Thursday. But the main topic is this rivalry. And I had to put this in quotation marks. Is it really a rivalry at this point?
Well, when one entity dominates another, normally it's not.
Everybody's talking about this moment. Everybody's talking. We said what we said, what we had to say about this moment,
Mm.
and then these two decided to get into it.
Oh, they had plenty to say. Oh, plenty
This
to
is
say.
where I take a step back, and this is what Coach Johnson wanted to get into.
I what look. I mean, I put it to you like this: if you're going to eloquently talk and break down and analyze games, I want you to do it from all aspects. All, not just from a certain one, not just from a couple of them, but from all aspects. Because I don't know what you call what we have seen. I really would like to know. Uh, I really would like to know when you see this woman. Yes, I'm addressing everybody. When you see this woman, what do you see? Do you see a basketball player that is still trying to figure it out, or do you see an angry black woman? And I want you to I want you to honestly ask yourself that question. Do you see a basketball player trying to work it out, and she's young and she's still trying to know what she's supposed to do and how she's supposed to dominate in the game that she loves, obviously, but it just hasn't come to fruition yet? Or do you see a woman where you're like, oh yeah, she reminds me of all the stereotypes black women go through? Oh, she's angry. Oh, she's talkative. Oh, she's cocksure. Come on. If the takes are going to be that lazy, then why should we even listen to you? And that brings me to one Mr. Robert Griffin III. Now, I'll get to your brouhaha with Mr. Ryan Clark momentarily. But, sir, when you on your show Out of Pocket, and I love the fact that you titled that Out of Pocket because I know it was a double entendre. You were a quarterback, so yeah, it's cute. And in your humor, it's like, yeah, my show's called Out of Pocket. Unfortunately, this take was out of pocket. When you saw this foul last weekend in the season opener for both the Sky and the Fever, and you saw the foul that Caitlin Clark laid on Angel Reese, you fixed your mouth to say, quote, when she got back up, talking about Angel Reese, she was ready to deck Caitlin Clark, close quote. And you went onward to say that she's angry.
I got that full quote for you.
All right.
Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. It's staring us all right in the face, but people are afraid to say it. Won't answer questions about Caitlin Clark. Get mad when people praise Caitlin Clark for the explosion of popularity around women's basketball.
Now, my first question is, how did you know that Angel Reese wanted to deck Caitlin Clark? What position or pose did she play that she exhibited that made you think, oh, she wanted to swing on old girl? What? What demonstrated it? I didn't see that. What I saw, what playmakers saw, and what all of us saw was a basketball player not really feeling the vibe of being hard fouled on. And normally, if you get take a hard foul, you get up with a little bit of aggression. You want to know what the heck.
Here's the thing that I think people ain't talking about. Did she really do a take foul because she wanted Angel Reese not to score, or the fact that Angel Reese pushed Natasha Howard, no call was made, and Angel Reese had the ball?
Now, if you would have talked to our fellow brother Cool, he would say the latter is what happened. Is that Caitlin Clark decided to retaliate against no foul call. She decided to put forth a harder foul to demonstrate, yeah. So I guess we're going to be physical. Fine, here we go. And there may be a little bit of truth to that, but I think it's also a little bit of truth too. To okay, you had Reese who was in position to put back a rebound, and you wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to lay it up, and you wanted her to earn them points from the free throw line. And we just talked about it a few minutes ago. Injury struggles from the charity stripe. Both things can be aligned. So that take was off, Mr. Griffin. I don't think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Now, is there a competitive energy between them? Is there a competitive dislike between them? Yes. I would I would I would definitely say surely there is some. Is that bad? No. In fact, that's I want that. As a fan of sport, I want that. Because you want the competitive fires to rage. You want it to be powerful and potent. You want it to actually make sense in okay, so they're fighting for something. That's not a problem. I appreciate that. But the fact that you are an athlete, were an athlete, Mr. Griffin, and you claim that this competitive juice that you saw was hatred from one person to another, that is very disingenuous of you. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. When you're a rookie and you were on the center, and in that season, you were cooking with grease. Then all of a sudden, Haloti Nada comes and he hits you right in the knee. Did he hate you? Did you get up and want to slock him in return, or did you hold your knee because you were in such sheer pain you couldn't do anything else but just grab on your knee? Obviously, it was the latter. And you have not said anything in terms of hatred toward Nada then or since then. And now we're 13 years in. So you can miss me with that. And the things that you probably qualify as hate, or the things that we've heard Keith Olbermann or Dave Portnoy or Jason Whitlock or any of those pontificators consider hate, no, it's more along the lines of okay, you're covering this person. There's others to cover along with us that you just seem to want to overlook, that you seem to want to bypass, that you seem to want to uh, brush aside because Kayla Clark is the darling. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve her props. I'm saying that we all deserve ours too. But having her say that, that's talking back. That's talking big. That's talking out of turn. That's talking angry. And then it gets, well, that's black girl magic going out of control. So I guess this is what black magic is. Black girl magic is when the black woman gets slighted, she feels as though she has to rail, and then all of a sudden it, the whole system is off and it's bad, and pity the black girl. It's sad that the black girl ain't getting by. No, pull yourself out of the bootstraps. What do you think they're doing? What do you think this girl is doing? And I'm not saying that she's the best player at WNBA. She's long from it. She's long from it. But don't address her in hatred when we could say similar things about similar players, and it's not. There's a competitive dislike that's between the two, and it's been that way for at least 3 years. So no. And then on top of it, you have the nerve to want to compare those two to Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
This is why when me and Coach Johnson got ready for this league, and we gave y'all our storylines that we are looking forward to. And sure
Hit him with
enough,
one of them. Hit him with one of them.
we said, how would the media cover the WNBA?
Mm-hmm.
And so far, do 1 week of the WNBA season, anytime they speak of the WNBA, it's one person. Caitlin Clark. Y'all barely talked about what happened between Vegas and the New York Liberty, which is the rivalry of the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Nafisha Kyrie is out here sending a message to not only the Dallas Wings twice, but to the rest of the league. She's coming for that top spot. You have not mentioned her one time. So yet again, and I said this Monday, if the WNBA doesn't make it to doesn't make the height that they should make, it's because of the media and you fans. Because you're so fixated on Caitlin Clark. Nobody else exists. Why are we not talking about the win against the Atlanta Dream? Because Caitlin Clark had a bad game. Natasha Howard came through for you. Can't nobody else get praised but Caitlin Clark. And trust me, we're not blaming Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark can control what y'all nut jobs do.
Nope.
If it was like Caitlin Clark, I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark would probably like to come out and actually say, "Can y'all just lay off me for a while and just let me play?"
Mm-hmm. Leave me alone.
Like everything will have to be evolved around me right now. But as you can tell, Caitlin Clark was raised with very great parents.
Thank God for that.
She understands she can't control what y'all gonna do. She just want to play ball. Matter of fact, how much did be here from Caitlin Clark during the all season? You know why that was stone solid? Because we didn't hear from Caitlin Clark during the all season.
A video here, a video there, but nothing all that huge.
Now, speaking of which, this is where I have to come at my girl Angel Reese. Angel, I love you, but you can't do everything. You cannot do everything. And I think it's starting to get to you.
Good point.
I think it's starting to get to you, Angel, because trust me, you can slay any event that you want to go to. You can turn heads when you walk into the room with the dress that you be wearing, be the supermodel that you look like, and all that. But guess what? You're having a bad start to the WNBA season right now. Me and Coach Johnson, they said we watched you work on your game during the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not showing up in the season now. Where did all that work go to? One thing I love about Caitlin Clark, she's not everywhere. Now, all season hit, she disappeared. When you did see Caitlin Clark working on her game, matter of fact, I believe, did we not see videos of her lifting weights too?
Mm-hmm. Post play, free throw line, and pumping weight. Yeah.
Caitlin Clark got away from the spotlight when it was time to get away from the spotlight. Angel, don't go searching for the spotlight. You do what you need to do, and the spotlight will come to you.
And then believe me, it'll come to you because you're too intelligent, you're too beautiful for it not to come to you. Just being real.
You can't always go to the Met Gala. It might be some years like you say, you know what, I cannot. No, I'm not gonna go. I got bigger things to worry about. Whatever party that's going on, I can't go. No, I'm sitting this one out. You don't have to be in on every scene. Kobe was not on every scene.
Oh, purposefully wasn't.
Michael Jordan wasn't on every scene.
Again, purposely wasn't.
LeBron James, as much as Coach Johnson can't stand his fan, LeBron James ain't on every scene.
Him, he's fine. The fan base is a different story.
But he ain't in every scene. You know why I brought them names up? Because those are names that we put up there with the greats, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not on every scene. Steph Curry, not at every scene. They are seen when it's time for them to be seen. Outside of that, y'all not gonna catch. Y'all is not gonna catch LeBron James, Steph Curry. They finna be chilling with their families for whatever time they got before they are back in the lab getting ready for next season.
Mm-hmm.
So while we did see you work on your game, we also saw you at every scene too, Angel. You can't have it both ways.
You're right, including the Met Gala, which is that happened early this month. Yeah.
You can't have it both ways, Angel. If you're gonna play ball, we need you focusing on ball.
Ball.
The fashion stuff, all that's gonna come anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said earlier, you can slay any dress that you be wearing.
Yeah.
You will turn heads to everybody when you walk in the room. But the WNBA season is here now. We need you focused on the court. We can care less about what you look like going in. We need what you doing in between them lines now. That's where we at now.
Right. Now, Griffin, if you were to actually give a take just like what Playmaker did, then I'd actually say that's what I'm talking about. You actually talking like you watch the sport. You're talking like you study Angel Reese. You actually giving advice to her that she actually could take. Where it isn't a personal axe to grind. It's an this is what I see about your game. I know your heart. I know what you studied. It's not computing on the court. So maybe you need to do this in order to change up what you're doing. That's not what you offered. You offer this woman's angry and that she hates her competition.
Matter of fact, RG3, how do you know it's hate? How do you know it's hate? That's my question. How do you know it's hate?
That's where I am with that. I'm like,
Did we
what
not
did
see
you see
them?
that was hate?
Did we not see them play together in the All Star game last year?
Yeah.
Did they not enjoy playing with each other in the All Star game last year?
Not only see it on the court, but they've actually said it. They said it to each other and said it in media. Both of them said to the other, "Oh, there's no issue with us. We don't hate each other. It's a competitive thing." I'm like, cool. I'm
And
glad
matter
to
of
hear that.
fact, RG3, before you did your show, did you not listen to both ladies in their press conference after the game? With neither one of them played into the media's hand about that whole situation?
Because they wanted what you cooked up. Oh, there's hatred. Oh, we see hatred between one to another. They see how much BS it is, and the players themselves are like, we ain't playing into this crap. But you being a journalist, you's like, oh, I know this is hate. And you feel as though you know it's hate because you decided to compare Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. And
And
yes,
the and
go
the
ahead.
hate and the hate ain't really about what happened on the court. The hate is really about Isaiah Thomas getting left off the Olympic team
Yeah,
undeservingly slow
yeah, it is all politically done. It's
between Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas.
yeah, it's behind the scenes and away from the court. Right. Because on the court, neither one of them ever had a situation where they were throwing they were dropping bows on each other. Very little physical contact happened between them. Maybe a hard foul here and there, but that's it.
RG3, Dave Portnoy, Jason. I'm gonna say what? Like I'm gonna be nice today.
Fatless, witless, less, whatever.
No, I was gonna go a different route.
No, no, no,
But
no. I was channeling Wise in doing that.
you three are starting to become the face of the Caitlin Clark fan base.
Yeah.
And a fan base that don't know crap about the game of basketball right about
Oh
now.
no, 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 no. You got to say it again. You got to say that again, please.
Because apparently, y'all don't know nothing about basketball. Because
Hmm.
anytime something happens to Caitlin Clark, it blows out of proportion and everybody got to take for something.
Why ain't she got invited to the Olympics? That's a crime against humanity. That's a foul. Shut up. They won the gold medal without her, didn't they? And she's
Oh,
going to have her turn in 4 years.
Angel Reese hit her in the head. She did it on purpose. She was going for the freaking ball. She just happened to hit her in the head. Call it a freaking foul and move on. Oh, by the way, Caitlin Clark got called for a freaking foul. And guess what? It is what it is. Oh, you know what's the bigger talking point in the Atlanta Dream game, Cole Johnson?
Hmm.
The fact that Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard are changing words with each other. This is
Really?
what happens in basketball.
Really? That's a talking point.
That's pretty much what they've been talking.
That's a talking point.
Like I said, they ain't talking about Natasha Howard, who was the start of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard exchanged words.
Okay.
And
Okay. Name me a game where that doesn't happen in basketball.
y'all take everything that Caitlin Clark does and you blow it out of proportion for no reason.
But that's what
You
they
know
do.
what's starting to happen? Caitlin Clark is starting to get treated like the Dallas Cowboys. You can't turn nowhere without somebody having something to say about Caitlin Clark. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. You can't turn nowhere without somebody having something to say about the Cowboys and be like, the Cowboys ain't even evolved this time. And y'all still can't stop talking about the Cowboys. Caitlin Clark is doing what any other basketball player is doing, but y'all taking it and blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah, because this is the golden goose. This is why, Mr. Griffin, your take on Isaiah and Mike falls extremely flat. I get you wanting to paint the narrative of, well, this is this is not uncommon between two basketball players. They can get on the court and hate each other. As playmakers so eloquently said, it wasn't because of things on the court. There was things off the court. The 92 Dream Team to help you out. But that is not the proper comparison to them. The proper comparison to them, and yes, I'm gonna break it down very simple for you. Caitlin Clark is white and from the Midwest. Angel Reese is black, and I think she's from the East Coast.
I'm glad you said that because apparently I said it last year and I think it didn't hit people's ears like it's supposed to.
Hmm.
I forgot who it was, but somebody was trying to talk about why Caitlin Clark is not only this popularity because he's white. But yet you people don't y'all don't say the y'all don't know how to make the entire argument. so people
No,
can understand it.
it's extremely complete. Right.
She's white.
Hmm.
She's from the Midwest.
Hmm.
She played at Iowa, not UConn.
Or Stanford, or Tennessee, or any other big name college program.
And she plays a game similar to Stephen Curry.
Hmm.
The main reason, and I'm gonna give you the main reason, because I figure I figured this out.
Hmm.
Ain't the Midwest called the heartland of America?
It is.
Somebody from the heart of America can play like somebody that revolutionized the NBA game and basketball period, and she didn't go to UConn.
Hmm.
You looked at somebody and said, "Oh, she's great," and she's not playing at UConn, and it caught your eyes.
Hmm.
And a blessing in the skies. I hate to say it that way, but in a blessing in the skies, it actually helped Clayton Clark. The fact that Paige Beckers had 2 ACL injuries, because for the rise, before you even knew about Caitlin Clark, Paige Becker was the one that was supposed to be in the spotlight. Who went to UConn, by the way.
Hmm.
If y'all gonna make this argument, this is how you make the argument. She's everything that people are complaining about, but she didn't go to UConn. She didn't go to the school that's known for making basketball boring because they were so dominant. She's from the Midwest, the heart of America, Iowa. Only thing that happens in Iowa is a Iowa Hawkeye. That is it.
Oh, that in Iowa State. But yes, see, this is why not only was your take incomplete, it was absolutely wrong, Mr. Griffin. Because if you're going to compare these two ladies, the best comparison you could have made was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And you could actually could make a deeper comparison between Caitlin Clark and Larry Bird because oh, he's from the Midwest too. And he wasn't from, I mean, he didn't play at a program like North Carolina or Duke or Kentucky or Indiana, even his own home state. In fact, he got recruited there, stayed there for 2 weeks, and Bird didn't like it, so he left
He went to Indiana State.
and made them popular enough to where he brought that team to a national championship game where they took part in the most watched, probably the most watched basketball game, college or pro, in the history of the industry to this date.
And who he were up against? Oh, Michigan State. Who was Michigan State led by?
Irvin Magic Johnson. Now, if you're going to make comparisons, make that because those comparisons actually are favorable because
Actually similar because the whole Angel Reese Caden Clark rivalry started.
in college as well
Oh,
and a
that was
national championship stage.
Magic Johnson won his. Angel Reese won hers.
Hers. Mm-hmm.
Bird, Arcade, and Clark left college with no rings.
No rings. Yeah.
But Bird went to the Boston Celtics and made some things happen,
Right.
along with Magic with the Lakers.
Lakers. Mm-hmm.
The only problem is you don't have that decorated history with those two cities when it comes to Caden Clark and Angel Reese.
Correct. That is where that comparison will fall flat. But that's the only part where that comparison could fall flat. Because the WNBA is trying their best to capitalize on all of this and say, oh, there's money to be made off of Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Why else would you think that you would have a national spotlight on the Fever and the Sky to begin the season?
And let me stop this before they get started because I seen this on social media. If I see anybody that's called Caitlin Clark the queen of the WNBA, we gonna have some problems.
What?
Yes.
Caitlin Clark, the queen of the WNBA?
Yes.
Oh, so we're just gonna crap on the feats of Collins and Angel Wilson and many others who would probably deserve that crown long before Caitlin Clark would.
Caitlin Clark got to bring me some championships before I can call her queen.
At least she has to bring you one. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay.
We're not gonna do this. Y'all is not gonna call Caitlin Clark queen. I'm not. No, we're not doing that. Matter of fact, the last when I video I made last year, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, the princesses, Angel Wilson, the queen.
And it is still that way. It is still that way to this moment. So so Mr. Griffin, that is where you fall flat. And you said about how Ryan Clark came at you, and I'll mention that in a moment, that you're okay if someone comes after you for your hot takes. Unfortunately, I can't call your takes hot. I have to call them Arctic cold. Because if you actually watch the sport, you would actually know this stuff like Playmaker does. Oh, but you don't do that like Playmaker because I know Playmaker, he studies this stuff. You don't. How do I know you don't? The takes I heard you spit. That's how I know you don't. The fact that you think that I hate to say it this way, the fact that you think that Angel Reese is a stereotypical black woman who's angry, that to me tells me you don't study. The fact that you're willing to hop on that train that we've heard Jason Whitlock and Dave Portnoy and Keith Olbermann say in, well, yeah, this black chick angry, and this black chick don't know how to play. And Kayla Clark, well, she's the queen of basketball. You don't study. You don't study, and unfortunately, they don't either. At least the way they should, if they're gonna call themselves sports prognosticators.
No, they don't study. Come on now. Everybody has a really a basketball mind. Know that man. What did she do against Angel Wilson? How does her stats compare to Angel Wilson? They don't. They is not
They don't
comparable.
compare. They don't compare because Age Wilson is leagues above them right now,
And right now, it ain't comparing to Nafisa Collier.
and she's leagues above them too. But you know something? That was the same thing when it came to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, but they brought their games up, and it wasn't long. But we talked about Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Dr. J because they were ruling the league. They were ruling the league before and when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird became NBA NBA players. Same is true from the feats of Collins and Asa Wilson. They've been ruling the league, and they're ruling the league now as Kalen Clark and Angel Reese is finding their way into the league and trying to find their way and carve their niche in it. But no, it's so convenient that you look at this black woman and say that she sucks and she's angry, and this white woman say that her game is so pure and she's so beautiful, and know that we need to just simply get a barf bag and just throw up in it. And that is what I have a problem with you, Mr. Griffin. I'm attacking you because your takes have they have um a biased viewpoint.
I can say the same thing for Ryan Clark. Knowing how
And I'm
Ryan Clark
glad
is,
you mentioned him because that's exactly where I was about to go next. Go ahead, sir.
because Ryan Clark, he didn't have to bring in the fact he didn't have to bring in RG3 is married to a white woman. He didn't have to bring that up.
You timed that perfect because that's exactly where I wanted to go.
He didn't have to bring that up. But knowing Ryan Clark, it's I don't think it's only because Angel Reese is getting all this. Remember, what school Angel Reese graduated from?
LSU.
What school Ryan Clark graduated from?
LSU.
I love Ryan Clark. I love Ryan Clark, but Ryan, I do think you went a little. I ain't gonna say how RG3 and anybody else say you went. Oh, but no, you went a little too far. And I know how you is about the ladies, especially our black ladies, especially those who come from LSU too.
Uber protective. Yes.
I ain't gonna say you went super overboard like everybody trying to blow it out of proportion. You went a little too far. You didn't have to bring up his wife. You
I'm
know,
glad. I'm glad you said it that way too, because I don't think he went super overboard either.
but you had to bring up his wife. You could have asked, did he have these type of conversations with his mom, sisters, aunties?
Cousins.
But you threw the marriage part in there because he's married to white women. Like, no. RG3's black. I'm pretty sure he probably had some conversations with the mother, with the sisters, aunties, probably the grandmas too.
Mhm.
So he probably has an understanding of it. But RG3 trying to be woke
Mm.
didn't work. Ryan Clark, you came back a little too far.
Now, I got where he was coming from though, and I know you did too. And you pretty much hit the nail on the head, really. Uh, and I have a whole lot of respect for Ryan Clark. He attacks journalism and the content game like he did as a safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time, and for a shorter amount of time, the Washington, well, now it's Commanders, but it was another name, and that part is very important in this
Your
in
favorite,
this.
your favorite name
Hmm. Yes, my
when it
favorite
comes
name.
to them.
Yeah, the Washington NFL franchise. Right. That is important in this conversation. Now, Playmaker, he ironed out exactly the issue that I had, and Ryan Clark actually said on a post on X, yeah, I went a little too far, and if I were to express myself again in this same spot, I wouldn't bring up that man's wife. So I apologize. So he does recognize the error of his ways, and he's owned up to it. The man that he is, he did exactly what I was hoping he would do, and he did. Because, yes, I don't think Ryan Clark should have brought up the fact that, yes, I know Griffin's wife Greta was in the back and she was in the corner cheering on her man when when he was talking about Angel Reese. Yes, that was true. But in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you mention any man's wife is going to get taken out of proportion, and it did. And the issue that I had more than you brought up his current wife was the fact you said in your history in with the previous wife and your current wife, we know you like to marry white women. So it's not that you brought up the current wife, you brought up his previous one, the one he divorced. And yes, that's the only part where I was like, "Oh, Ryan, you shouldn't have gone there." The rest of it, though, I'm on point with it. But let me play translator for you, because this is what I know you wanted to say. Robert Griffin III, you know what you are? You are a milquetoast sellout. You are an Uncle Tom of the highest order. You are the corniest of the corny. And I got proof. I mean, you tell these
Wow.
jokes about milk of all things, and you actually posted on Instagram, and you got busy taking it off. And you were a horrible teammate. And I spent all the time when we were colleagues at ESPN saving your butt on NFL Countdown because I don't have any respect for you. I think you're hot garbage. And the fact you talked ill about an LSU alum and a black woman, I'm coming for your neck, son, because you are the lowest piece of trash that I've ever seen in the journalism game. That is what he actually wanted to say to you. But he didn't, because he thought he could be a little bit more eloquent in illustrating the fact that you seem to not have an understanding of black communities' issues, and he decided to use the fact that your dating history proves it. No, I don't have to go there. I don't have to go with the dating history that proves it. No, your commentary proves it. Your commentary proves it. How dare you say this woman hates another one simply because she's angry? And then how dare you say that she was willing to get up the swing and she didn't have any fists clenched? What's wrong with you, man? You should know better than that. But I'm gonna get more on you momentarily. Ryan, my brother, I know, and I got a lot of love and respect for you. I love what you do on the pivot, and he actually said those things on the pivot.
Yeah, he said it on the page.
I love what you do on the pivot because I love the interaction you have with Channing Crowder and Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor's one of my favorite running backs of all time. I mean that he's one of my favorites. And yes, I'm saying this as a Texans fan, and he used to give my team the blues. But I love him as a man. He's a good man, and it's great that you two are together. And I'm glad that Channing fits your threesome beautifully. I get what you were trying to say. We've seen these brothers. Playmaker's seen these brothers. I've seen these brothers. I get you. I get you were trying to say. You can't paint stereotypical understandings of black women and get away with it, especially if you're black, because that's out of bounds and that's ridiculous. And you're stupid when you come out of your mouth and say this stuff. I know that's what you wanted to say to him, but you wanted to be a little more eloquent and say, you got this white wife, so you have this lack of black understanding. That's just where it was going to go left.
And that's where it went left. Because I'm gonna throw a question, but I want to make sure I get to this other stuff with the NBA before we
Oh,
get ready to talk the
I I got
NBA playoffs.
I got one more bar to drop about this, and then we can go on to the next thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, but how you express yourself, Ryan? I'm happy, brother. I'm happy you got a chance to get it off, and I'm glad you apologized. I just wish you could have been a little bit more to the point about him and not involve Greta or Griffin's ex-wife. Now, back to you, Griffin. You have the nerve to say that Ryan came after his family, came after your family. No, he didn't come after your family. In fact, he was complimentary of your current wife. No, he came after you. And you know he came after you. And you know why I know he came after you? Because in your plea, you said that he went so far out of bounds that you called for ESPN to fire him. That was out of bounds, sir.
And Stephen A has something to say about that.
That was out of bounds, sir. So I'm going to ask you a blunt question. Look down. Do you have a scrotum, two balls, and a penis? You do? Well, act like it. Act like you actually have some balls. Act like you actually have a penis, and you confront the man and say, "Dude, you out of pocket, and this is why you out of pocket, and we got to iron this crap out now. And if it's some past crap, we can handle that too. And if we can't handle it anyway else but with fisticuffs, we could do that too. But this dialogue trying to actually encourage and incite going after a man's pocket, that's out of bounds, sir. That's out of bounds. So my take about you, Mr. Griffin, you, not your wife, not your ex-wife, not your daughters, not your family, you, is that you, sir, are a white man masquerading in black man's skin. That is what you are, sir. Because you pissed me off in clapping on Angel Reese, calling her an angry black woman. You didn't say those words, but that's what you alluded her to being. And because of that, I know that you, sir, are not equipped enough to make these takes. So, because of that, I have one piece of advice for you, Mr. Griffin. I want you to take all those milk jokes that you have said in the past. I want you to take anything that you have to say in terms of this space about a black athlete or a black woman, roll it up in a ball, and shut your milky behind up. Because you do not have any room, space, or thought process to make sense about any of this crap. And this is something that your mother should have told you. If you have nothing nice to say, keep your big, ugly black mouth shut. But in this case, I can't say big, ugly black mouth. I got to say your milky white mouth shut.
I don't know how does he find the time to make all this.
Because you, sir, are a buster. And I know you're haunted by being corny, being called corny, because you are, sir. You are. And you've been ever since you were quarterback at Baylor. And I've seen how you were at Baylor. Long before you were the rage in Washington, long before you were the rage at ESPN, long before out of pocket. Because you, sir, have been out of pocket for a long time. And so you can take all of that and stick it where the sun don't shine, son. And if I don't hear anything else from you, I'll be a happy man.
That ain't gonna happen.